It was just after 3 in the morning when the call reached the Brazil Crime Unit. A night security guard from a rural cargo depot reported hearing metallic echoes coming from inside the old, deactivated railway tunnel at mile 103, a place long abandoned since the collapse that closed it 15 years prior. No trains, no lights, no reason for anyone to be there. But the guard insisted it wasn't an animal. Someone was calling for help. Detective Rafael Torres, still half awake but already alert, drove through desolate country roads. Mist covered the asphalt like a thin sheet of ice. The trees leaned toward the road, branches swaying gently as if whispering warnings. The night was too quiet. Izzy arrived minutes later, drone case under her arm. Marcone followed, sipping black coffee from a travel mug. "This tunnel doesn't appear on recent maps," Izzy said, scanning the area with her tablet. "It's not supposed to be here anymore." Rafael pointed toward the massive arch ahead. "It's still here." The entrance was sealed by a rusted metal gate, but someone had cut through the chain recently. They stepped inside. The smell hit them first. Damp earth, old wood, metal, and something else. Something faintly chemical. "Lights," Rafael ordered. Their flashlights carved tunnels through thick dust. The railway tracks were still there, half buried, splitting into darkness. Water dripped from cracks above. Each sound echoed endlessly. Then they found him. A man lying on his side near the left wall, half conscious, breathing fast but shallow. His clothes were covered in dirt, and his skin carried a pale tint. Oxygen deprivation. Izzy knelt. Pulses irregular. He inhaled something. Marcone pointed at a small metallic canister a few meters away. "Gas leak. He wasn't supposed to survive this." The man struggled to speak. "Tunnel. Not alone." Then he fainted. Rafael searched his pockets. A wallet. ID card. Claudio Moretti, 68. Retired history professor. But there was something else. A folded map. Old and yellowed. The kind you'd find in archives, not stores. 3 trails were marked in red, all converging on the tunnel. Izzy frowned. "He came here on purpose. But someone else came with him," Rafael replied. They checked the ground. Footprints, 2 sets. One dragging, one steady. Then they saw it. Spray painted across the tunnel wall, barely visible through decades of dust. "O pasado cobra." The past collects its debts. The next day, the team visited Claudio Moretti at the hospital. He lay connected to oxygen, weak but stable. Rafael leaned closer. "Why were you inside that tunnel?" The old man's eyes trembled. "I thought I could fix it." "Fix what?" Izzy asked gently. Claudio looked away. "Something I did. Something I helped hide." His vitals spiked. The doctor asked them to leave. Outside, Marcone grunted. Classic. Half confession. Nothing useful. But Izzy held the map. "This is 40 years old. Miles of forest trails." And he highlighted this tunnel. "This wasn't random." Rafael agreed. "Let's check Moretti's house." The professor lived in an old brick home filled with piles of books, archives, dusty typewriters. On the desk, stacks of historical documents, rail projects, town founding records, old lawsuits, everything meticulously organized. But one drawer was locked. Izzy picked it easily. Inside were dozens of letters, all written by the same person. "You promised you'd stay silent. They cannot know what we buried. If you talk, I die." None of them were signed, but one letter contained a clue, a date, February 17th, and a location, mile 103 railway, collapse site. Rafael felt a chill. February 17th, 0217, the time on the broken watch. He turned toward Izzy. "Whoever wrote these letters met Moretti at the tunnel, and that person is still missing." They went deeper into the professor's past. He had once supervised a group of young researchers digging through historical railway records. One of them, a bright but troubled student named Samuel Azevedo, had vanished 4 years earlier. Police labeled it a runaway case. But why was Samuel writing these letters? Izzy traced the handwriting. Matches Samuel's old academic papers. Then Samuel was at the tunnel, Rafael said. And he's the one who dragged himself away or was dragged into the darkness, Marcone said. They returned to the tunnel that evening. This time they went deeper. The further they walked, the colder it got. The air tasted metallic. The beams above groaned with age. Then Rafael noticed something in the dust. Drag marks, fresh. The trail led to a collapsed blockage of old stones and wood. Izzy scanned the area. There's a cavity behind this debris. Rafael touched the stones. Warm. Someone had been there recently. They cleared enough rubble to squeeze through. Behind the wall was a low chamber, scarcely tall enough to stand. Old crates, broken lanterns, rusted metal hooks. And in the center, A body, not recent, not intact. Samuel. Izzy turned pale. He never left the tunnel. Pinned beneath Samuel's body was a recorder, battered but intact. Marcone pressed play. Static. Then a voice, weak, shaking, terrified. Claudio, please, don't leave me. They sealed the tunnel too soon. I'm still here. Another voice, smoother, deeper. No one can know what we found. The documents stay buried. And so do you. Izzy looked at Raphael. That's not Moretti's voice. Raphael rewound the tape. Listened again. A chill ran down his spine. He recognized it. Dr. Valmir Quiroga, former district administrator, dead for 12 years. Buried with honors. A man celebrated for his contributions to the railway system. A man Raphael's own father had admired. But Samuel's recording continued. Claudio, he said you must keep quiet. He said if I talk, you die. Raphael clenched his jaw. This wasn't about murder. This was about a cover-up. They dug deeper in archives. The collapse at mile 103 wasn't an accident. It was planned. The railway company illegally dumped chemical waste inside the tunnel. The fumes weakened the structure. The collapse killed 7 workers. Quiroga ordered Moretti to falsify the environmental report. Samuel discovered the truth years later. Moretti panicked and locked Samuel inside the tunnel to keep him silent, promising to come back, but he never did. The professor spent the rest of his life receiving letters from Samuel, believing he was still alive. Finally, driven by guilt, he returned, only to be exposed to the same gases that killed the workers. He never tried to kill Samuel. He just abandoned him. A slow, cowardly murder. Marcone shook his head. Guilt kept him alive, but fear kept him silent. They arrested Moretti that night. He wept the entire time. He begged me, the professor sobbed. But if I spoke, they would have ruined me. They would have ruined my family. Raphael closed the file. Your silence ruined 7 families. The sunrise broke as they left the hospital. Izzy whispered, do you think there are more secrets under these tunnels? Raphael looked out over the empty railway tracks disappearing into mist. In Brazil, he said softly, the past never stays buried. It waits for someone willing to go into the dark. And they walked away, leaving mile 103 behind. But knowing the country held countless other tunnels, countless other secrets, and countless other ghosts.